What's up, techies? Today we're going to talk about pipelines and customer journeys. Now, if you want a successful business, you need to have a very clear plan about how people enter your business. What is it that brings them in? And then what steps do they walk through? What pathway do they go down through your various products and services? Do you actually have any kind of customer journey mapped out in your business? If you don't, the chances are, I guarantee you, you are not making the money that you hope your business could be making. So the first thing to do before you even begin doing the tech setup is to map out your customer journey. What are your lead magnets? What are the things that pull people into your business? From there, what things do you upsell them to? What products or services do you have on offer? Now, if you do want some help with that, go to sarahcordner.com. I can't even say my own name. sarahcordner.com/academy. And I do actually have a whole bunch of training in there as to how to create your customer journey, how to map out your profitable products and programs. Go and check that out. Now, assuming you have made a pathway or a journey of exactly what your customers will go through, the next step is to actually start mapping that out in terms of your tech. And I'm going to be showing you how to organize this in TekMatix. So I'm going to make myself a little smally over here. And this basically on your TekMatix dashboard will show you an overview of where all of your customers are at in your customer journey system, basically. So how many of these people are just leads, i.e. you've got their email address, they've showed interest in you, your products and services, but they haven't yet bought anything. This is all your opportunities. How many of those have actually converted into sales, and how many of those are kind of somewhere in between that sales process? All of your dashboards on TekMatix do show exactly where all of your people are at. What is your conversion rate in terms of your leads into sales? Where in the process, the pipeline of your sales process, are each of your individuals and all of your people? So this is really important stuff for you to know about your business as business owners. If you don't have a handle over this stuff, you don't have a handle over your business or your income. It's as simple as that. But how do you actually get these statistics showing up on your dashboard? And the first thing to know here is that there are probably going to be lots of customer journeys within your business ecosystem. Now, in your wider business ecosystem, I do recommend that you have one business, one customer journey. But you may have numerous entry points, numerous sort of lead magnets or ads that are pulling people into your business. And therefore, you may have a number of what we call customer journeys. So over on your dashboard, we have what's called a customer journey. And this is where we actually start mapping out each of the different pathways, entry points, and upsells that people walk through within your business. So I just had to pause then to switch to an account I can muck around with. So you're going to click on customer journey over here. And from there, this is where at the moment you might have a completely blank screen, but I'm going to show you what one of these pipelines might look like. Okay, so what we're going to do is when we go to customer journey, we're going to click on pipelines. And this is where we can create different kinds of pipelines. But for now, I'm just going to show you what one pipeline might look like. So I've made a pipeline here, for instance, for something really simple. It could be a student submitting an assessment. So step one is they submit the assessment, assessment. Right, you know what I meant. Assessment. It's going well today, isn't it? The next step in that customer journey might be that they assess. I need to do a bloopers reel on this one. That the assessment gets sent back to the student for marking. It could be another stage in that process is that they failed. Another stage may be that they've passed. Let me show you another example of what a pipeline or a customer journey might look like. This one's very typical of most businesses. You've got a new lead come in. This particular one's a really hot lead. Maybe they've clicked on a few things. They have a number of tags. Maybe you book them in for a strategy call. They didn't show up to that strategy call. They did show up to that strategy call. They've accessed a particular lead document or a lead magnet. They may have enrolled into your mini course. Then they may upsell again into a bigger course. They finish the course. Maybe they upsell again into some kind of coaching program. Maybe they upsell again into some kind of done for you service. So you can see here basically what you're doing when you're creating a pipeline is you're creating what are the steps that somebody would go through from meeting you for the first time right the way through to buying their way through all of your products and services, because really that's what we want them to do, right? So once you've mapped this out, this is when you're now going to come in to your customer journey, click on pipelines, and you're going to create this pipeline. Let's create one for, let's do a simple pipeline for somebody getting a particular lead magnet. So let's create the pipeline first. We're going to press create a new pipeline. Let's call this Sarah's customer journey XYZ lead magnet to upsell. All right, so you give it a name that you know what it's about. Let's just make this about my whole business. So stage one might be they have opted into the free lead magnet. Okay, then we can add another stage. Maybe after you opt into a free lead magnet, you offer somebody something small that they can buy. So this one might be has purchased the instant upsell $9 ebook. I don't know, I'm making it up just to give you an idea of what this might look like. Maybe after they've purchased the ebook, you offer them an online course. So let's go, has purchased the $97 online course. Maybe from there you upsell them to a coaching program. Has purchased the XYZ coaching program. All right, and then zoink, from there, maybe you have a done for you service. Has purchased the done for you service. All right, so obviously your business is going to be different, but I'm just doing this for demonstration's sake right now. What we do want to do is turn on this visible in the chart and visible in pie charts, and you'll see why that's exactly what makes people in this particular funnel actually get added to that overall visual on your main dashboard. So we're going to press save, and this is going to create this pipeline for us. So you see now it's popped up in our pipelines. Now, of course, you may have a number of different lead magnets. You might actually have one for, the lead magnet A. You may have another pipeline for lead magnet B, another pipeline for lead magnet C. But ultimately, they're all being recorded into that dashboard as leads, and whether they're one or not. So how do we actually get people into this journey? Glad you asked. After we have created the pipeline, now we need to create systems behind the scenes that actually add people to the different stages of this pipeline. Now, there are unlimited ways to do this. You can be very, very creative. There are so many different methods by which you can actually add and move people around into a sales pipeline. I'm going to show you the most absolute basic way. Now, the absolute most basic way is workflows. Workflows is an automated pre-sequence of actions that you make the system do based on the actions of one of your customers. So let's walk you through this step by step. So here's just a really quick overview. We've created our pipeline, and now we're going to create workflows to move people in between the different stages of whether they're just a lead or whether they've purchased something. And as I said, there are many different ways we can do this. We could create one massive workflow. I'm going to show you how to keep this really, really simple, just to avoid things getting tangled and messy. I'd recommend you actually create individual workflows based on all of the individual products that can be purchased. So in our example that we created in our pipeline over here, we had a number of different upsell products. Wow, I need to learn how to talk today. But I would recommend that the workflows that we're now going to create are actually individual per product purchase. This is going to keep things really simple, really clean, and it's going to stop things getting messy. So our next stage then is to obviously go into our automated workflows. And our first step in our example pipeline there was that somebody opts into a lead magnet. So you're obviously I'm going to assume that you have created the lead magnet, that your thing already exists. Go back and please watch another video on how to do that. Let's, for the sake of this example, I'm going to actually just show you. We can either, because there's a number of different ways that you can do this. You can actually create your lead magnet as a course. It could be a product inside your products area. So I'm going to just pick one for the sake of this example, just to show you how this works. But please do go back and watch one of the lead magnet videos here. For example, you're going to create a product, build your own. Let's call this lead magnet ABC. Okay, create product. We've got our lead magnet, and now let's assume that we have published this, we've added in all of our content, and it's live and ready to go. Okay, so we've now got that. So we've created the product, we've gone to offers, we've made this particular lead magnet free and published it. Now we're going to go and create a workflow. And what you can do is press start from scratch, create a new workflow. And this is where we're going to set the triggers that are going to move people between all of those different stages. So the first trigger could be that they have purchased that particular free lead magnet. We use the word purchase because this is how it shows up in here. Again, there's a number of different ways that you can do this. You could, for instance, have had your lead magnet behind a form. So you could create a form where the student or the client, the prospect, puts in their name and their email address. And then this trigger could be that they've opted into the form. So let's pretend you've done that first of all. So it may be that you're triggering this by the fact they filled the form in which case the trigger, type in form, press form submitted. That's going to fire off this particular workflow. Add a filter. And the filter is that the form is, and then you would choose the form that you had to have already pre-created, by the way, before coming to this step. Let's pretend that was our lead magnet ABC that we've just created. That would be your trigger. So that would mean that when that particular, so if we could call this, we can give this a proper name, lead magnet ABC opted into form. Okay, save trigger. That just gives us the name so we know what this stage is. Just opting into the form alone and giving their email address could now fire off this automation, which could be moving them to the right stage of your pipeline. Now, I always have a couple of little actions I put in first. The first action I always put in is a tag. So let's just add a contact tag. You want to have tags on your customers because this allows you to do really advanced marketing. You can say to your system, hey, TekMatix, send this particular email to all of the people that have this specific tag. So this really helps you become a very smart marketer. So if you are creating a new tag for the first time, just click on this box and type it in. So we can put in here, has opted into the lead magnet ABC, form submitted. So that will tell you now, you'll know that that's what that has happened with that particular customer. All right, so give it a second, press save action. Oops, it looks like you missed out some fields. Oops, you have to press add a new tag. So when it's blue there, you know you've added it. Save action. So now it will add that tag. The next thing we want to do is add them to the pipeline. Now inside the system here, it's called opportunities. So type in op and you'll have create or update an opportunity come along. So then we're going to say, which pipeline do we want to add them to? We want to add them to that customer journey we just created. And then it will say what stage. Well, at this stage, they've only opted into the lead magnet. So they're going to be put into the stage has opted into the lead magnet. Now, the opportunity name, this is the name that will show up on the card of the individuals in each column. So in this pipeline, it will show all the people that have just opted into the lead magnet in one column. It will show all of the people that have purchased the mini course in the next column. It will show all of the people that have purchased the coaching program in the next column. What shows up on that card is what you put in the opportunity name. Now, I like the client's or the prospect's name to show on that card. So if you click on this little tag here, this allows you to input dynamic custom fields. So if I click on contact and then put contact full name, you'll get this little code show up here. What that will actually do is on the card, it will show that contact's actual full name. How good is that? Opportunity source means where did these people come from? So I normally would put here, opted into lead magnet form, lead magnet ABC form. So again, that's for you just to be able to glance at that pipeline and see Sarah Cordner opted into the ABC form. It's just a really nice way for you to kind of have a little snapshot of who your people are, where they are, and how they got there. Now, your lead value, this is what changes that price or that prospective price in your sales system on your dashboard. So what I tend to do with this is I put their value in based at the lowest priced offer in my system, so that therefore it's based on a worst case scenario. Now, there's no right or wrong to this. Some people like to go, well, every lead to me is actually worth all of the things that they could buy. So in the example we did earlier, I think I had a $9 course. Let's get the calculator out. We had a $9 course, then I had a $97 course. Then let's pretend the coaching program was $497, and then let's pretend that our done for you service is $1,500, right? So if they purchased all of those things in their lifetime value, then that lead is technically worth $2,103, right? But that's assuming that they're going to buy everything. So I personally prefer to assume based on the lowest values point of sale. So this is up to you how you choose to translate this. If to you a lead is worth everything that they could buy from you, put that price in. For me, I like to base my business on the lowest risk numbers. So in our example we made here, our lowest price product was $9. So I'm going to make this lead worth $9. Technically, they're worth a lot more than that. But if I base this on them only ever buying the lowest price product I have, I'm getting anything else is obviously going to be a bonus above my expectations. That's just how I roll. You may choose to do this different, but that's what that lead value means. And it's really important at this stage because it's going to update the numbers that come up on your dashboard. Now, status, this means are they an open lead, i.e. they haven't yet converted. They are completely open to purchase something. One means they have purchased something. Ding, you've won that sale. Lost means that they've opted out, unsubscribed, don't want to hear from you anymore. They're gone. You've lost them, right? And then abandoned often means the same thing. Depends on how you use these different sales processes in your system. But because this is a lead and they haven't purchased anything yet, they're new into our system, it means they're open. Okay, now these little options here allow them to move into previous stages of the pipeline. I'm going to turn that off because I want my people to move from being a lead all the way through the system. If you turn that on, it may be, for instance, that they can purchase the done for you service straight away. It may be that you want them to be able to move around with the different things that they can purchase rather than go in a linear line. That's up to you. Again, there's no right or wrong there. What happens in your business is what happens in your business. So if I turn that on, they can buy different things in different orders, basically. We don't want to allow duplicate opportunities. This means that they could be in this pipeline multiple times. We don't want that to happen because then it's going to count that person twice, 3 times, 4 times. We want accurate numbers here. One person is one lead, right? So keep that bit off. Let's press save. So now we've created an automation whereby when somebody opts in to our free lead magnet via a form, they're given a tag and then they are added to that stage of the opportunity. Now we'll change this to show you the example of has purchased or opted into the actual product. So instead of having a form, we could actually change this to, let's add a different one. The product, let's say we're doing it by the product. Okay, so product access has been granted. And then you have to, I like to type in which product, or accessed the free lead magnet. Okay, and then we can do add a filter and it's going to say what product. So let's select the product, and the product was, and I think we called it ABC lead magnet, didn't we? Lead magnet ABC. So we're saying to the system, when somebody accesses this particular product, then trigger off this automation. So I could get rid of this particular stage here by deleting this. How do I delete that? It's not letting me delete that right now. Okay, so just deleted the filter so it can't trigger because there's no forms now connected to it. Okay, cool. So now when they access the free course, then they'll be added with a tag. Obviously, you might want to go in and just change that tag. And then, of course, go in and add that opportunity. So there you go. That is how you now start adding people to the beginning of this pipeline. Now, all we would do next is we would create the workflow for each of the different products that can be purchased. So let's press, you'd obviously need to press publish on this and then save. I'm not going to press publish on this because obviously I'm just doing a demo. Yes, that's fine. We're going to move out of here without saving it. That's all right. Now, the next thing that we had in our pipeline was the purchase of a particular product. And I think I called it a $9 ebook or something. So again, we would have to go back and actually create that product first. Okay, so we'd go into sites and courses, we'd click on memberships, go to products. And from here, we would then create our book. Let's just do one real quick. Create a product, build your own. Let's call this, oops, for the sake of the example, the $9 ebook thingy. All right, just so it matches with the pipeline that we've created. Let's pretend that we've gone in, we've uploaded our ebook to the files thing here. Woohoo, ebook's been uploaded. It's all published. So now we go to memberships, we go to offers. We have to go to offers to create the checkout. Sorry, I had a visitor. We need to create our offer. The offer is basically the checkout, all right? When we say offer, you're creating a price and you're creating a checkout essentially for your product. So again, we're going to call this the $9 ebook thingy. Then we're going to set our price, $9. Okay, mine's Australian dollars. We want to make sure that we are in live mode. We're not in test mode. Okay, so make sure it's switched to live, press create. Ta-da, I now have a thing. We need to press publish to make sure that it's actually live and working. We can't create the workflow if it's not published because the product won't show up. Now, again, we're going to have pretended we've gone through and added all of our images and all that kind of sexy stuff and made it look all pretty, but this product now exists. That's what you do, guys, to make a course or a product live in your dashboard. So let's pretend we've made that all look pretty. She's ready to give to customers and we've started selling her. We're now going to go back to our workflows. We're going to press create a workflow and we are going to start from scratch. We're going to press create a new workflow. And from here, we're now going to trigger this again. So what is the trigger for this workflow? Our trigger is that they have purchased a particular product. So we're going to type in product access granted. And this is the, what product is it? It's has purchased the $9 ebook thingy. Add filter, and it's going to say what product. So we're going to select the product. The product is, let's go down and find it, the $9 ebook thingy. There it is. Save the trigger. So when somebody now purchases this, what do we want to do? First, let's tag them. All right, always tag them. Add a contact tag, and we haven't got one yet, so I'm going to call this purchased the $9 ebook thingy. Boom, that person's now going to have a tag. Add the tag, save the action. What happens next? Now, because we have now won this lead, right? They've actually purchased something. We need to make sure that they move out of being a lead and into the new stage of has purchased this thingy, which is going to show them as no longer a lead. It's going to show them as one, as a prospect or a sale one in our dashboard, in that pretty image we have at the front of the scene. So we're now going to move them from one opportunity to another. So type in opportunity. We're going to create or update an opportunity. So it will say, okay, which pipeline are we talking about here? That pipeline we created at the beginning of this video. And what stage? Right now, we want to move them to has purchased the instant upsell $9 ebook. What's their name? I like to keep it their name. So we're going to press the tag, contact, full name. Woo! Okay. Opportunity source. I'm going to just completely leave that blank because the source was the original form that they came in from. Now, what is their lead value now? Again, there is no right or wrong to this. You may go, okay, they've now purchased something. They've now purchased my lowest price product. They are potential now. They're a hot lead to purchase other stuff I have. So you might calculate all of the other things you have for sale and make that the lead value. Okay. I might go personally, I like to go, what's the next thing they might purchase and just change their value to that now. So in this example we created in this pipeline, after they bought the $9 ebook, we were going to sell them a $97 course. So I'm now going to change this lead's value to $97 because that's the price of the next thing that they could buy from me. So up to you how you choose to value your people. Again, as I've said, this is just the way that I do it. I base it on the lowest price next thing that they may purchase only. I never assume that everyone's going to buy everything. However, I certainly design a sales system to make sure that they do, right? So I'm going to leave that as it is. What's the status? Now the status is won. We've now won this client as a client. They've gone from a lead to a client because they've purchased something. That means we've won the sale. Now, of course, there's more stuff we can sell them on, but we want to move them out of the leads pipeline into the sold and won. Okay, press save action, and ta-da. By the way, little tip, make sure that you change your workflow names. You really want your workflows named in here. So this one's going to be called How to Purchase the $9 ebook. Okay, so that way you always have really good organized management of your administration. So we're going to press save over here. And of course, we then just go through and repeat that process for all of the products we had in that pipeline. So what that will basically do now is if I go back to our customer journey over here, we can change the pipeline to Sarah's customer journey. Now, obviously, we've had nobody go through this or opt in yet. But basically, what those workflows will now do is when somebody opts into the free lead magnet, they will get added to this stage of the pipeline, and all of your people will show up in this column who have only done that. Now, because we created another workflow for the $9 ebook, we created a trigger that updates their stage. These are called stages, right, in the pipeline, and they would move to here instead. So at this stage, everybody was worth, in our example, $9 because that's the next thing they could have purchased. So this number here will automatically update. This financial figure will automatically update based on the number of people you have in this stage of your pipeline. Now, when we move them to here, in our workflow, we updated them to being worth $97 each because that's the next thing that they could buy in the next stage of our customer journey. So this value here, again, will automatically update based on the people that move to this stage. And again, we would just repeat that exact same process for every product or service that we have in each of these stages. Ta-da! On top of that, our dashboard that we have at the front here, this would automatically update now based on the fact that we have created those opportunities, those pipelines, those stages, and the workflow changes to match the value of each of those customers and whether they are open or whether they are closed, which means won. So this will really start giving you a very good idea as to where your people are at, how many of them are just prospects and leads, how many of them have actually purchased from you, what stage of the buying journey they're at, and what your conversion rates and everything are. And this is going to get you really well organized and totally on top of your business. Hope that helps. If you've got any questions, don't forget to message us on support@tekmatix.com. And if you want to jump into the Facebook group, the TekMatix official user community, and ask any questions there, you absolutely can. Otherwise, happy teching.